Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov claimed the heated engagement between Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and U.S. President Donald Trump at the White House on Friday shows that Kiev is not interested in peace. According to Associated Press, speaking with reporters on Monday, Peskov said that Moscow's and Washington's efforts won't be enough to reach a peace deal, claiming that Zelensky wants the fighting in Ukraine to continue. Peskov said it would take considerable efforts from Europe to smooth Ukraine's relations with the US after the public spat in the Oval Office. He added that someone would need to convince Zelensky to agree to peace. Peskov also said that the Ukraine summit in the UK on Sunday didn't aim to reach peace but to continue fighting.
Произошедшее в пятницу в Белом доме, безусловно, продемонстрировало, насколько тяжело будет выйти на траекторию урегулирования вокруг Украины. Киевский режим и Зеленский не хотят мира, они хотят продолжения войны. Поэтому в этой ситуации, конечно же, только усилий Вашингтона и готовности Москвы будет явно недостаточно. Выпадает очень важный элемент. Кому-то придется приложить изрядные усилия в плане диалога с Вашингтоном, чтобы как-то нивелировать вот тот, наверное, неприятный осадок, который наверняка остался в Белом доме после общения с Зеленским. И очевидно, что сделать это будет непросто. Но и кроме того, конечно же, очень важно, чтобы кто-то заставил самого Зеленского поменять позицию. Он не хочет мира. Кто-то должен заставить Зеленского захотеть мир. Если это могут сделать европейцы, честь им и хвала. Зеленский во многом продемонстрировал, наверное, полное отсутствие дипломатических способностей, как минимум. Он принял во внимание произошедшее. Еще раз, собственно, вся российская сторона еще раз убедилась в правоте президента Путина, когда он говорил, что при всей открытости российской стороны к переговорному процессу эти добрые намерения, они упираются в нежелание киевского режима поддерживать такую динамику. Это мы увидели в полный рост в Вашингтоне. Ну, там же еще звучали все-таки заявления относительно того, что необходимо срочно обеспечить повышенный уровень финансирования Украины. Это явно не для мирного плана, а, наверное, для продолжения боевых действий. Вот это наше понимание. А остальное все будет зависеть от того, какие мирные планы будут верстаться и какие мирные планы будут уже выноситься на обсуждение.
An expert commented on the information that the Ukrainian armed forces have begun jamming Russian-guided aerial bombs with electronic warfare systems along the entire front line. Forbes article claiming that the defense forces have found a way to counter Russian-guided aerial bombs and jam them across the front line using EW systems is overly optimistic. This was stated by the military expert Ole Katov, as reported by Kyiv 24. In a certain sense, it is possible to affect satellite navigation, but it's difficult to set up these antennas. It's not just about turning on a jammer from a drone. It's much more complicated, but it is possible to work. However, saturating the area with electronic warfare systems to neutralize everything is a different story compared to the possibility or impossibility of affecting these UMPK modules, Katkov said. Additionally, the expert notes that the number of hits by guided aerial bombs has decreased because the defense forces have become more effective in dealing with Russian reconnaissance drones that were guiding the strikes. By destroying the reconnaissance drone, we destroy the enemy's eyes, and the occupiers have less information to guide their guided aerial bombs. There's also the factor of weather, visibility, and flying conditions. Overall, the article is somewhat optimistic, but that doesn't mean Ukraine is not fully utilizing the entire set of countermeasures against guided aerial bombs, the analyst concluded. Ivan Kirichevsky, a military expert from Defense Express, noted that the enemy has clear plans to produce as many as 75,000 guided aerial bombs, which is 50% more than the previous year. As for the Forbes publication claiming that Ukrainian forces are jamming Russian-guided aerial bombs with electronic warfare systems, it should be noted that this discussion is not about data from a reputable Western media outlet, but rather about a statement from a Russian propagandist known as Fighter Bomber. In this case, Forbes simply relayed the publication of this Russian propagandist who specializes in aviation weaponry, and he claims that the Ukrainian armed forces have learned to disrupt guided aerial bombs with EW tools. If one guided aerial bomb used to be enough to hit a target, now Russian pilots need to drop 15 to 20 on the same target, the military expert commented. According to him, currently the Russian army can launch about 100 guided aerial bombs per day. However, Russian generals are now writing that instead of targeting hundreds of sites, they need to focus on 5 key targets, such as frontline positions and critical infrastructure. Given that the enemy has clear plans to produce as many as 75,000 guided aerial bombs this year, an amount equivalent to carpet bombing, it is in our interest to collectively pretend that we have no knowledge of how to counter these guided aerial bombs. It would be better if the enemy does not evolve and continues to believe that a single bomb can take out one target. We should not give them hints that could make the situation more difficult for us. I repeat, the Russians plan to produce 75,000 guided bombs this year, which is 50% more than the previous year. Therefore, our priority is not only to develop ways to counter these bombs, but also to act as if we had no idea how to deal with them. Kirishchevsky concluded.
Fighters of the 425th Skala Assault Regiment of the Ukrainian Armed Forces have attacked a position where Russian army soldiers were hiding in the eastern part of the village of Kotlino, near the city of Pokrovsk in eastern Donetsk region. 2 Russian soldiers hiding in a dugout tried to resist, but failed. Ukrainian fighters fired several grenades in succession and destroyed one of the invaders in the dugout. Another Russian soldier was forced to surrender and was taken prisoner. The wounded Russian soldier said that they had been in difficult conditions in the dugout for several days, without food, adding that Ukrainian fighters provided him with medical assistance after his capture. It should be noted that the village of Kotlino was liberated from Russian occupation recently.
Меня там на шахте, посекло с бросом. Вот осколочек, когда прилетел под глаз маленький, в руку и в ногу тут. И вот пришли в этот блиндаж, сидели долго, есть было нечего. Пришлось съесть кошку. Пришли ребята с Украины и начали нам: выходите, отдавайтесь. Я хотел напарника уговорить сдаться, потому что все равно бы нас закидали бы гранатами еще. А он не захотел. У него там граната взорвалась, я его уже это не видел. Последнее, что от него слышал, он говорит: я все. И все. Я тут, сколь было патронов, пострелял на выход. И парни кричат: давайте. Я сдался. Украинские солдаты мне сразу оказали медицинскую помощь. Перетянули турникетом в эту артерию, чтобы кровь не истекла. А потом перевязали обезболивающее, вкололи. Я бы умер там от потери крови. Украинцы держали свое обещание, они вывели